Hi, this is Andrew, and I'm going to go ahead and play through a couple of games on the Crucible with the deck that I just did a reveal of, Everlasting v Galvadirt, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. I see that there's a competitive game in here, so I'm going to jump in and see if we can get in on that one. I usually actually go casual, so we'll see how this goes. Might be somebody going for one of these crazy, terrible decks, or, terrible in the classic sense, but we'll see. Okay. So, I kind of like this, actually. This is a pretty good hand because it lets me, I can either drop one of these non-discards first turn, or I can drop one of these disc creatures. But I think dropping either Library of Babel or Ritual on the Hunt first turn is probably a good idea. I think Library of Babel is going to be the best, because that way on my first Logos turn I can get the draw out of it. And I think this deck has 2 Library Babbles. Getting one out early is a good thing. And he's going slow, so that's going to be interesting. Alright, here we go. So yeah, we're going to go with Logos. We're just going to drop that Library of Babel. And end the turn. He's choosing Dis. Yeah, Dis Shadows is going to be kind of creepy. Gungoozle was kind of a waste because there wasn't a creature to do 3 damage to. Makes me feel good for not dropping a Succubus right away. That would have been sad. And, okay, so the Ember Imp is going to be annoying, but it's okay. We can kind of play around that a little bit. So what we'll do is we'll go Dis. We'll put the Succubus on the board, and the Tentacus as well. And then we'll go ahead and discard our other 2 cards. The Tendrils of Pain just wouldn't have done enough, and the Life Word just isn't that critical. So this puts us in a better situation. Next turn we can do something like a Logos with Twin Bolt Emission to kill off the Ember Imp. And this puts some stuff on the board that he has to deal with. At least the Succubus. The Tentacus he might not care about, in which case it'll just come in handy later. But the Succubus is at least doing something he doesn't like, and hopefully it'll force him to react. And we have Shadows coming. Bad Penny. That's a good Twin Bolt Emission target. Putting it back in his hand won't make me sad. Oh, he uses Pawn Sacrifice. Okay, that's a good play. So he kills off my Succubus that way. He gets the Bad Penny back into his hand. He can either play it again or discard it, and he can use it a similar way again. Okay, Umbra's out, and that's another good target for Twin Bolt Emission. Interesting using Lights Out to put a damaged Tentacus back in my hand. I feel like that wasn't the most optimal play, but we'll see how it goes. He's up 3 Amber now to my 0, so that's, things are not going great so far. We'll go ahead and draw with Library of Babel. If you can gain information, that's always a great way to start. And then we'll start with the, our first card we play will be Twin Bolt Emission, so we can kill off the Ember Imp and the Umbra. Perfect. That's a perfect use of Twin Bolt Emission. We will put Dr. Escoterra on the table. And then, I think we'll do a lab work on the Terror and a sloppy lab work and archive Tentacus, so we'll have like a strong Dis turn in the future and get rid of Way of the Wolf because it just doesn't do a lot in this deck. So now we're tied on Amber. I pass the turn back to him. You know, he has a stronger creature board state than me, but we each got rid of the other person's real problem cards. So we'll see how that goes. And now Annihilation Ritual is out, or is in my hand. I could put that out, or I can do I can do a pretty strong Untamed turn. I can drop 5 cards if I go with Dis, right? I can get out 2 creatures, the Tendrils of Pain, which would kill the Bad Penny. But none of that does much. Well, I could capture a couple. We'll see. If he gets on 6, it'll be real tempting to drop the Pandemonium. Okay. He goes Shadows, Reaps with Bad Penny. Oh, plays Magda. Okay. And Umbra. Okay. So, yeah, I think actually this is a pretty strong turn to pull out my archives and go for Dis. This will be crazy. So Dis, and we do want to take our archives. So we're going to start with this. We'll actually start with the Tendrils of Pain so I don't forget to do this right. So this is going to put a damage on every creature on the board. It kills the Bad Penny, shoving it back into his hand. But this also means that when I play Pandemonium in a second, it won't hurt my... It won't... I can capture 2. Sorry, that's what I'm trying to say. I have 2 fresh creatures that can capture. And he has no creatures that can capture. So that puts us in a pretty decent situation. I wish I could kill that Umbra, but there's just no way. With the Annihilation Ritual out, though, at least when I kill it, it'll be really dead. Oh, and I have a great, pretty great next turn setup. Frustrating because still just nothing to kill the Umbra. But but if I can take my next turn to just drop a Full Moon and then 3 creatures, that's a pretty good turn. So if I were him, I'd be really tempted to go Shadows and use Umbra to plink 2 damage onto probably the Tentacus, because it's the only one that actually matters. I don't know if he has artifacts or not, but you know, the Terror doesn't really have any effect once it's already on the board. So we're now waiting for him. But yeah, I would be really tempted to play Shadows, plink 2 damage on the Tentacus, steal 1. Probably just Reap with Magda, and then play any other cards from hand. He has the Bad Penny in hand, and yeah, he does choose Shadows. So, yep, called it. Okay, so he plays the Miasma for the Amber. Plays a routine job, stealing 1. Fights with Umbra, stealing 1. Plinking 2 onto the Tentacus, like I said. Yep. So I think, you know, one of his goals here might have been to try to forge at exactly 6, and therefore, you know, then kill the Magda and not have any for me to steal. But that's not going to happen. He's at 8, so he'll forge next turn, and then I'll have a bunch of creatures out and be able to kill the Magda and steal 2. Again, still, so I could go Logos and kill the Umbra, but it's really difficult to justify that. Spending a whole turn on that. I could do it with Dr. Escotera as well. Draw 1 with Library of Babel, play out the Archaeologist. Playing the Untamed set seems, I think it's better. We'll see. So we'll do the full moon. We'll play the Snufflegator, the Dew Fairy, and the Witch of the Eye. And then Ritual of the Hunt. So, you know, again, this puts me at 6, and he has ways to seal on the board. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to forge my next key. So he's going to be able to continue his advantage. If he wants. I mean, it could be that he has something, you know, more tantalizing to play in his hand. It seems to me like, though, even if he has no shadows in his hand, it's probably better. How many shadows does he have? Yeah, so he has a lot of shadows in this card. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, there's a, you know, 4... No, I can't do that math. Anyway, not in my head anyway. So there's a chance that he has a shadows card in his hand. There's also a decent chance that he doesn't. If there's any house that he doesn't have in his hand, it's likely that it's shadows. In which case, I still would play shadows in this circumstance, because you can steal the one with the Umbra and keep me off forging. And, oh yeah, and he can kill my Witch of the Eye. Yeah, that just seems good. So I don't at all blame this person for going this route. I think my correct play next turn, though, is, oh man, it's unfortunate. Oh yeah, no, that's it. Is to play Logos, burn the Ritual of the Hunt, and, brutal Poison Wave. Okay. So a lot got killed there. So I still can't quite kill Magda the Rat, but it's very close. And it's hard for me to imagine that I won't be able to do it after this next turn. So, unfortunately, burning Ritual of the Hunt doesn't make sense anymore. But we'll go ahead and go with Logos. We will use Library of Babel, drawing us a card. Okay, it doesn't matter. Play out second Library of Babel. We'll play Novu Archaeologist. Titan Mechanic. And Ganymede Archivist. And we don't want to leave that Titan Mechanic on a flank. And then with the Dr. Escotera, we'll reap. And there's actually a chance we'll get to forge. Yes, it's asking me if I want to end my turn because the Ritual of the Hunt is out. So, now, in this case, this actually could be a good turn to go ahead and, well, what am I burning the Arise for? I'd be burning it for just a Succubus. It's tempting. It's definitely tempting. And we're at the point now where if we choose Logos, we can draw 2 cards. So that's not a bad deal. Yeah, a lot of stuff I don't like out there. What do I... Okay, so So if I go with Logos, I have 4 creatures that I can use along with the Library of Babbles. So that means I can kill Magda and Witch of the Eye, but maybe not the Dew Fairy. I did Forge, so that's good. Yeah, I think Logos is a pretty good move here. We'll get a couple draws in. Yeah, okay. Well, that's not going to be amazing, but we'll see. So if I play the Library Access and then the Bat Drone, then I at least draw another card. And yeah, it's just another Arise. Okay, well that's fine. So I think what I would like to do is use Dr. Escatera. Oh, he used Fogbank, so I still can't fight. So I'm going to Reap. Reap. Reap to archive. What do I want to archive? I mean, there's nothing really compelling to archive here. But we'll do that. And then this one, what would I want to put from my discard pile back into my hand? Twin Bolt Emission would be really good. Full Moon would be okay. He is going to Forge, unfortunately, so I don't really want to kill the Magda right now. Dang it. That is really unfortunate. So we'll go ahead and use this action to put Tendrils of Pain into the archives. Okay. And yeah, we'll end there. Yeah. Okay. So if I'd realized the Fogbank had been played, the right play would have been to go Dis and play the Schuler, because that would have kept him off forging. And, you know, I think the obvious move for him right now, I guess, is to do, is to go with Witch of the Eye. And, well, okay, I guess the obvious move is for him to go with Shadows and bash the Magda into somebody. But having Witch of the Eye and Dew Fairy is great. Oh my goodness. And no, he doesn't do either of those. He goes Dis. Okay. And a gateway to Dis with an Annihilation Ritual. That's fantastic. Okay. Yeah. And right. Oh man, it's funny how that works out. So because Magda is destroyed at the same time as the creatures I had that had oh, that's not gonna matter. Is it gonna matter? Yeah, it'll matter some. Oh, Restringantus. So he's gonna play Restringantus and Ember Imp. That's interesting. So yeah, I wish I had pulled Twin Bolt Emission into my hand, but oh well. Definitely fighting from behind here. Okay, so he's stopping me from choosing Untamed. So I'm going to go Dis and pull my archives into my hand. I can kill the Restringantus. So that's easy. And I'll play out the Shaffles. and just save the Schuler, I think. So that's important. Oh, and he had forged. So okay. So now I play the Shaffles. Do I want to play the Succubus? I think the Succubus is good right now. So we'll play that. Now I wish he had 4 actually, because if he had 4, then I could actually steal with the Schuler, but it's not worth keeping it around if I don't have something to kill with it. So, or if I don't, yeah, it's just not worth keeping around. Okay, I mean, next turn is a pretty good untamed turn. And then I'm guessing the turn after that will be a pretty good Logos turn. I say that because if I can drop, you know, that's 3 amber and then forge, so then I'd have 1 left. I'd have exhausted his creatures. He's losing 1 at the end of the turn. Yeah, so the Chota Hazri is good for that. It lets Witch of the Eye stay on the table. That is the one thing I'm really bummed about. If I go Dis, then I can kill the Witch of the Eye, but then he can use the Ritual of Balance. So I think, let's see. I mean, he can grab the Fog Bank or the Full Moon. There might be something else in there, but that's probably the option. So I think this is still the right thing to do. Oh, and I'm exhausting it, so that's fantastic. So yeah, we'll exhaust Witch of the Eye. We'll play Dust Pixie. We'll play Chota Hazri. And then we'll play Niffle-Ape. So that just turns the Ritual of Balance right off. And at this point, we each have 2 keys. My Shaffles drops him down to 1 amber, and I have 1 amber. So we're tied on amber. He has a Ritual of Balance and an exhausted Witch of the Eye on the table. 7 creatures purged and none in the discard pile. 4 cards in his hand. Because of Chains and Succubus, he plays Library of the Damned. And I had... so he's gone Goozle to kill my Succubus. That lets his hand come back up. Although he still has 1 chain left. So he's at 5. I have 3 untamed creatures on the board. Niffle-Ape can fight, but that's the only one with a special ability that matters. And then I have Shaffles and Schuler. I have in my hand Doc Bookton's Lab Work, Sloppy Lab Work, Hunting Witch, Vigor. So if I go Logos, I can draw 2 cards, gain 2 amber off of the cards out of my hand, burn the Ritual of the Hunt to reap for 3 more. That would put me at 6. But actually, I think it's important for me to kill that Witch of the Eye, and I'd like to be at 7, really. Actually, if I get to 7, the Witch of the Eye would not matter. So, let's do then, see, I have a Hunting Witch, but it won't do anything at this point. So I'm going to go Logos and draw twice with my Library of Babel. And here's where Annihilation Ritual actually could help me, because there's just not that much to draw through to get to like Twin Bolt Emission or something else that would give me an amber. But at this point, I could get up to 6 amber from the cards in my hand, and he has the Ritual of Balance, so that's just not good enough. I think it makes sense for me, though, to burn the Ritual of the Hunt and use the Chota Hazri to fight Witch of the Eye. They both get purged. Reap with Dust Pixie, Reap with Niffleape, play Lab Work, and store away Arise, and then Sloppy Lab Work is gonna archive Full Moon, I guess, and discard Life Word, because I just don't really anticipate taking a dis turn. Yeah, so I'm at 5, so the Ritual Balance can't be used. My opponent's at 1. I have Doc Bookton, Niffleape, Dust Pixie, Schuler, and Shaffles on the board, along with 2 Library Babbles and an Annihilation Ritual. My opponent just has the Ritual of Balance and Library of the Damned. That's it. We have so many creatures purged. I think I might be down to the only creature left being Hunting Witch. They might have creatures left. I'm trying to think if they've actually cycled through their whole deck, and I don't know that they have. So that's kind of an interesting situation here. In order to, not have the Ritual of Balance be able to prevent me from winning, I need to burst up to 7. But the Shaffles really has been doing work, keeping him low. He just doesn't have the creatures to put out to stop it. I haven't taken a look at his deck, so again, there might be more things coming out. He has the Bad Penny that he's putting on the table. He called Shadows. At the end of this turn, he'll draw back up to 5 and lose that final chain. He has 9 cards left in his draw pile. An Urchin to steal 1. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and play Dis. I didn't think I would, but I am going to play Dis. I'm not going to return my archives to my hand. I'm going to play Tendrils of... Yep, I'm going to play Tendrils of Pain. It kills my Dust Pixie, but it also kills his Urchin and puts his Bad Penny in his hand. I'm going to use Pandemonium, which there's nothing undamaged to actually capture stuff. And then I'm going to Reap with my Shaffles and my Schuler. And then here's the interesting thing. I have a Tendrils of Pain, but I really don't want to kill my Shaffles, so I'm just going to discard that and also discard Arise. And then I have 4 cards on my discard pile, so I'll finish drawing through them. I'm at 8, so check, and he has Ritual of Balance, so that's one way he could steal 1. He might have other cards in his hand that would let him steal. Miasma's in his discard pile. It doesn't mean he doesn't have another one. Let's see, we have 6 shadow cards in the discard pile, and then 1, 2, 3 purged. So he has 3 shadows. Oh, Bad Penny. So there's 2 shadows cards that I don't know about that are either in his hand or his draw pile. On Dis, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 in the discard, 3 purged, and 1 on the table. So that's 8. So there's 4 discards unaccounted for. And Untamed, 1, 2 in the discard, 1 on the table, and 3 purged. So 6 untamed cards still unaccounted for. And he goes Untamed. He plays Nocturnal Maneuver. Okay, so this probably means he wants to kill my Shaffles. He exhausted everything but my Shaffles. He uses the Ritual of Balance to put him up to 4 and me down from 8 to 7. GG. Yeah, I really thought in the middle of the game that I probably would not come back, and really, I feel like it was the annihilation ritual that that gave me a lot of steam. Weirdly, this is not what I expected. So I gave him a GG, and I'm just trying to wait and see if he says anything. If he doesn't, that's fine. But if somebody wants to hang around and talk, I don't mind. It doesn't seem like he wants to, so I'm going to leave. And that's that. So I'm going to grab water really quick, take a quick break, and I will be right back. All right. So yeah, in that last one, I really thought that it was lost early on, and that we wouldn't be we just wouldn't be able to come back from that, from being a key down and a bunch of amber down, and especially given that he managed to burn the Magda. I thought, man, that's a lot to take. So this is we're being trolled. Yeah, I think we're being trolled, so we'll leave there. And hey, look, the KeyForge. We'll join the KeyForge. This is casual, so hopefully just a nice friendly game here. We're up against Bravnar Logos Sanctum. None of those were in the last one we did, so this should be quite different. No Mars represented, much like the starter set. And let's see here. Should we keep this? We're starting. It's, I mean, I can go Logos my first hand and just empty it. So I think it's really hard to... Oh, not my first turn. But that's okay. But yes, we still can empty it. So let's start with... Untamed, and just get that Witch of the Eye on the table. That's it. This is probably actually wrong, because normally I want to have like a plan to be able to use Witch of the Eye next turn. If it survives. If she survives. But we'll see. So he chooses Sanctum, drops a Frankus on the table, And also a Sergeant Zakiel. Okay. And my poor witch. Oh, and a Grey Monk. Okay. Oof. And Tabris. Well, that was a strong first turn. Okay. So, whew, there's just a lot of armor on the table right now. That is a lot. Okay. We'll go Logos. We'll drop Novu Archaeologist and Bat Drone. And then lab work with the Snufflegator. And then sloppy lab work with Pandemonium. So between Tabris and Frankus, it's almost certainly going to be the case if they choose Sanctum right now, they'll end up with both my Amber captured. But I did empty my hand. I'm happy about that. Great, I have a full moon with nothing, with no creatures, so that's great. Oh, it's not totally true. I have the Snufflegator. Yeah, Tabris takes out the Archaeologist and only takes 1 damage because of so much armor, and Frankus takes out the Bat Drone. So now they've each captured 1. Tendrils of Pain wouldn't do any damage right now, which is pretty hilarious. So at this point, I mean, dropping an Annihilation Ritual right now would be, I think, a really bad move. I don't have it, but it would be pretty terrible. We'll go with Untamed. We'll pull our archives into our hand, play the full moon, and so the interesting thing right now, we'll see how this works out. The interesting thing right now, though, is, I mean, we're gonna get Amber. Most of it is going to get captured pretty quickly, I feel like, but we'll see. Okay, I did Nocturnal Maneuvers and managed to just exhaust everything but their Grey Monk, so that buys me a turn. Oh great, so I have Life Word now, and I have Arise. I have, well, I don't know, Arise isn't really great right now. Alright, so they switch to Brobnar. They drop a Smash and stun my Snufflegator. Oh, Relentless Assault. So, that's interesting. They use Relentless Assault. They ready to fought with things. Yeah, they weren't stunned. So that's interesting. Just a second. Okay, I mean, I just have so much disc in my hand right now, it makes sense to play it out. And I think I'm just gonna dump the Arise. It just doesn't make sense to keep right now. Pandemonium. So interesting. Okay, well. Yeah, here, have more Amber. Tendrils of Pain won't do anything. Life Word at least might help sometime in the future, and then I'll get more cards. And I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Okay, so I think they just reaped with all their Sanctum stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they have so much there, and they had blinding, doorstep to heaven and blinding light. Also, it's just, oh, I think the doorstep was from earlier. Anyway, yeah, reap for 4. That's strong. So, I mean, I think I go Logos here and burn the life word. So that way, yeah, I think that's the right play here. And then the next turn I can play Tendrils of Pain. They're already going to be 2 keys ahead, but I'll get a lot of amber back. So we'll go Logos, play this Titan mechanic, Dr. Escatera on one side, Ganymede Archivist on the other, and actually not going to burn the life word because anything they put out is going to get probably killed by the Tendrils of Pain. I mean, the nice thing is, let's see. Well, it's not going to kill everything. Ugh. It'll at least kill the Grey Monk and the Jehu. Oof. So brutal. And then I have a bunch of creatures to drop, so that's something. Okay. Now, no, Tabra still won't quite die. Yeah, see, they're already ready to forge their second key. But we'll go with Dis. We'll do Tendrils of Pain. Life Word. Succubus. I mean, this is just terrible. Just so bad. But, you know, we played 5 cards. We're going to get to draw 5 more, but it just isn't enough. They have such a strong board presence, and I have nothing to do about it. Nothing I can do about that strong board presence. Ah, Shaffles did keep them off forging, that's right. So that did drop them down to 5, and they did not forge. I'm up to 3, but they have 6 of my amber on their creatures. So, but I just don't have ways to kill them still. I do. I have some. Oh, rocket boots on the Tabris. That is brutal. They played an interdimensional graft, so I don't know if they're. Oh yeah, there's no way I'm forging. Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I have so much Dis out. I think I go Dis. And oddly, I think I go Annihilation Ritual. And then we'll do, let's see, to kill the Tabris, we need to do 5 damage. So we'll use the Terror to do that. They both die and get purged. To kill Frankus, we'll need 5, so we'll use Tenicus to do that. That actually puts me on forging. Actually, either of those would have, but that together does put me on forging. And then I'll reap with Succubus and Shaffles. That actually puts me on 10, so I'm not that far behind them. But if they have a way to, like, if they could play Interdimensional Graft right now, it would be terrible. But they used it already, so hopefully they don't have another one. They do choose Logos and pull their archives, so that's not making me happy. Ah, they play Effervescent Principle. Great, yeah, okay. But my creatures are still out. I still have my Shackles and my Succubus out, so that is pretty good. I have... Okay, let's do this. We'll go with Untamed. Put out Hunting Witch. Niffle Ape. Vigor, I could gain an Amber, but I'd have to actually heal their Smash. I have to gain a second Amber, and I don't really want to do that. So I'm going to choose my own Succubus. Oh, I guess, let's see. Heal up to 3 damage from a creature. And then yeah, the Chota Hazri, and we'll forge that way. Dropping down to 0. Let's see, I start with 5, so I gain 6, 7, 8. Pretty sure I should actually still have 1. 5. Hunting Witch gains me 1. Vigor gains me 1, that puts me at 7. Hunting Witch gains me 1, that puts me at 8. Chota Hazri makes me lose 1, that puts me at 7. Okay, well. I think they're trying to think about it, make sure I got my math right. I think I got the math right. I'm not going to fight them on it, but it is worth asking. And I mean, I'm pretty clearly the site made a bug here, so it has a bug, did the wrong thing. So either way, I think this would be an interesting thing to show to the developers. They're totally volunteer, so you know, they certainly don't owe it to me to fix it, but I imagine they would like to know and be able to see what happened. And here we have a video, so it should be somewhat helpful. Sweet. Cool. Oof. They play 2 Sound the Horns. They get a Grenade Snib and a Troll. They also play a Crump. Man, that is brutal, and they still haven't used the Smash. So, now the nice thing is, anybody they fight with Smash, they're going to give me that Captured Amber back. And both creatures are going to get purged, and they take out the Shackles. Not surprising. Okay, so we're even on Amber now, but I only have 1 key. so that's not good. Okay, and man, I'm not excited about this logo setup, but I have library access, and I have the Hunting Witch out, so if I can draw some What else? What else do I have? What? See, I don't have discs in my discard pile, so it's not going to be so great to do that. Okay. Oh man. Okay, Logos, library access. The problem is they just so easily go. Brobnar and Reap for 3, and they're almost there. Yeah, and actually, this doesn't really. Well, I think this gets me a Doc Booked into my hand. The stupid grenade snib. But I think what I do is 2 damage to the Crump, 2 damage to the grenade snib. I'm not happy about it, but that's life. And oh man, I managed to not draw the Doc Booked in, so don't get to finish drawing through. Bummer. So that's that. So there's a good chance next turn that they do get up to 6. I mean, they can reap up to 5, and so if they have anything good, you know, they're going to be up to 6. They play a Champions Challenge. Very exciting with Purge. So it'll be Troll fighting one of my 3 power creatures. Troll wins. Nice. And then yeah. Why do they declare check? Oh, because they have Pocket Universe. Okay, I missed that. Okay. So the only way for me to hold them off for a turn is to play Dis and play Schuler. And unfortunately, I just don't have enough. I just don't think this is going to matter. Yep. Okay, but I have to do it. So I play the Schuler. And then I play a Rise for Logos, which gives me a lot of Logos creatures, but it really, if he just reaps, there's no way around it for me. This is the end of the line. Well, that's really kind of unfortunate. That's better. I should do that in the future. Oh well. All right, so they're on check. Wow, see, they have 1 on the Pocket Universe, so I really need to get rid of 2, and I can't. But hey, we'll just play around with this. So we'll do Logos. We'll use the Library of Babbles. Yeah. Okay. Play all our creatures out just for fun, but it doesn't matter. GG. Oh, wait. fun. And so we won one, we lost one. That's how this goes. And thanks for watching. I hope if anybody was watching, or if anybody does watch this, I hope you enjoyed it. And that maybe you were able to learn something from the way I played. And if you have some pointers, things you think I could have done differently or better, different lines of play that you saw, feel free to pop those into the comments. I would love to learn from you as well. And anyway, I hope you had fun and that you keep forging those keys. Have a good night.